Hi, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here today with all of you. First of all, remember that 4 years ago, when our Secretary General, Surab Pololikashvili, came to the UNWTO, he decided to include innovation, technology, as part of one of his strongest pillars. Of course, today, the UNWTO has at least 5 priorities inside this house: innovation and digital transformation, education, investments, sustainability, and of course, added value jobs. Today, we would like to start this amazing conference with how these pillars can help us to create a better society, how these pillars can help us to create a better tourism sector. Why innovation is crucial? Innovation is crucial because it's the power of youth. Thanks to innovation, we have the power to give the voice to the most youngest generations that has different solutions when technology is part of the new ventures. When we talk about technology, remember that the startup ecosystem is key in order to talk about a sustainable innovation. When I talk about the innovation ecosystem, I'm talking about adding value to the 6 actors of the ecosystem that are, as you know, innovators, entrepreneurs, startups, governments, institutions or accelerators, innovation labs, corporates, investors, and the academia. Without those 6 working together, it's impossible to talk about a sustainable innovation. What are we doing inside the UNWTO? As you know, we have 4 programs that we're running today: the startup competitions, the innovation challenges, the tourism tech adventures are our key innovation forums, and of course, our innovation network. Thanks to those 4 programs, we have more than 10,000 startups that have applied to our competitions from more than 150 countries. The more used technologies are based on artificial intelligence, big data analytics, digital marketing, where augmented reality, virtual reality, and Internet of Things are crucial. These technologies has been really mature. Nonetheless, we have a lot to do. From the 100 subsectors of the tourism sector, only the innovation is going to 3 subsectors that are mobility and transport, e-commerce, and of course hospitality. But the question is, where are the innovators in gastronomy? Where are the innovators in health? Where are the innovators in manufacturing? Remember that when you build a hotel, where you build an amusement park that is part of the touristic chain, you need manufacturing goods, you need towels, you need fruits, you need a lot of things to create a new experience. Where is the innovation when it comes to meetings, incentives, congresses, and events? We need the power of youth, of the youngest entrepreneurs, of the SMEs, and of course of the startups to create new technologies and to help us to innovate not only in these 3 hotspots, if I can say, that basically are 50% of the whole innovation of the tourism sector. We need to diversify a little bit more on the different subsectors in order to have a 360 integral and complete innovation. Then, thanks to our programs again, our startups have raised more than $240 million. This only in the last 3 years. And this, once again, is aligned with joining efforts between the public and the private sector. I can say that thanks to the power of partnerships, we can, Amadeus, MasterCard, Globalia, Wakalua, the governments of Portugal, Argentina, Colombia, Spain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Macau, among others, have been supporting these programs, and thanks to them, today, innovation is a reality inside the UNWTO, and the connections has been done to create more than 100 pilot projects and more than 300 mentorship programs. In that way, we are helping the smallest to grow. So Innovation today has the challenge in not only in helping the tourism ecosystem to get more mature. The biggest challenge I see in the touristic innovation ecosystem is with the SMEs. As you know, tourism, the touristic chain is created by different actors, but 80% of those actors are small and medium enterprises. And unfortunately, during COVID times, they have received a lot of funds for surviving, not for investing in technology, not for investing on innovation. This is the moment where we need to empower the SMEs to help them and to mind the gap in order to have a sustainable sector where everybody can use technology. That's why inside the UNWTO we created the UNWTO Digital Futures, a program that was launched during the last UNWTO General Assembly, which aim is to bring accessibility and to bring access to new technologies to the small and medium enterprises. It's really easy. You just need to go to the UNWTO website, click on the Digital Futures program. You need to enroll and to fill a form, and then we will, thanks to the partnership with MasterCard, we will be able to connect and to give you a personal assessment on where is your SME, where are your gaps, and what do you need to fill those gaps. We decided to create 4 verticals that are the most important technologies that are needed in our sector. The technologies are, first of all, digital payments by far. Second of all, cloud. Third of all, digital marketing. And fourth of all, everything related to artificial intelligence and how through artificial intelligence you can predict in different data-driven models. With those 4, the idea is to train more than 2 million SMEs and then to give them access to digital tools and to keep those tools into their own businesses. Without the power of the SMEs and without them digitized, we cannot talk about a modern tourism sector. When it comes to education, I am really passionate on this matter, and more than passionate, maybe it's my obsession. Why? As you know, tourism is the most important employer of youth and of women. But remember that 50% of youth working in tourism only have secondary skills. And 50% of youth desire to become an entrepreneur in the mid-future. So if we want to do things great, whatever we invest in education is a small amount compared with the impact of helping others to grow. Again, youth is a part of this priority inside the UNWTO. Education. What do we offer in terms of education? As you know, the education system has been experiencing a revolution thanks to COVID-19. So today, our strongest platform to train people is the UNWTO Tourism Online Academy, a place where top universities all around the world has been partnering with the UNWTO to upload massive online open courses and online certificate programs in order to scale up the way people are educated and to give access to the most vulnerable people that don't have the possibility to study tourism. I have here to thank to all the colleagues from Cornell, from IE University, from Les Roches, Glion, École Ducasse, PolyU from Hong Kong, Externado de Colombia, Universidad Católica de Chile, Swiss Education Group, among others. We have been partnering with the top league in terms of education to make education not only easier, but also to have added value content for everyone. Then, second part of our story, everything cannot be just online. So our second service is related to offline education. And when I talk about offline education, here is crucial what I'm going to say. 80% of the presential careers in tourism are only focused in hotel administration. That cannot be possible. As I already said before, tourism sector is created thanks to the power of 100 subsectors. So we need to create and to update the curricula. We need to create a policy and public policies where tourism is part of the development on every single country. If we want to create touristic destinations, if you want to create a country as or to have a nation focused on tourism, the only way to go and to succeed in the near future, in the mid future, and in the longest future is by creating a professional path when it comes to education. In education, I would like to ask some questions to you today. How many of you had some of the subjects that you had in high school or in kindergarten related to tourism? How many of you studied law, business, engineering, or maybe government and international affairs, and you had even the possibility of having an elective focused in tourism? How many of you have been searching something that is that has nothing to do with hospitality or hotel management? And I know that at least 1% of those that are in front listening to this speech today would say that maybe they had any approach. And that's the problem. We need to create a professional path. Since we are the kids are in kindergarten, so to explain the power of tourism, then when the teenagers are in high school, we need to involve them in social impact projects. We can give electives for them to work during the last years in tourism, in hospitality. Then when we are in the universities, if we want to study tourism, we need to be able to study not only hotel management. Of course, that's amazing. Of course, hospitality is amazing, but it's not the only thing that we need to study. We need to study, for example, data-driven decisions, digital marketing, data scientists specialized in tourism. We can artificial intelligence or deep technologies on tourism, transport, in order to work in a top airline and to understand the airline business, because transport is part of tourism, the cruise industry is part of tourism, the trains and the railroads, the infrastructure, that is part of tourism as well. And then when it comes to manufacturing goods that are related to tourism, we need to understand the whole chain. And this is crucial to do it now. That's why in the UNWTO, we are partnering not only with the national governments, but also with the universities to help. For example, we have signed a letter of intent with the University of Lucerne, one of the top schools in Switzerland and in the world, of course, to help them to innovate and to help together and to collaborate together on the desired bachelor's that is needed when you study tourism. We are doing the same with different countries all around the world. We are trying to create the first international academy in Saudi Arabia that will be focused in tourism. We are working with the United Arab Emirates on their methodology and supporting their methodology to have tourism in high schools. We are creating, with the support of our UNWTO Education Committee, the first policy paper in order to help the governments and the national administrators on how to create public policies since the beginning of the education roadmap until the last part of that roadmap, that is lifelong learning, to include tourism as an economic sector, because we cannot forget that is one of the biggest economic sectors, that is one of the most important sectors when it comes to services exports, and of course that one of the most important things of tourism is that is really powerful when it comes to the contribution to employment, to the GDP, and of course to diversity. But we need to talk this, we need to be serious in the way we teach tourism and in the way we can bring opportunities to everyone, not only again on just a small part of the chain. The third part of our story, of course, is quality, and we need to create everything that can help us to bring quality to our environment, to update our professors, to create toolkits, to create new methodologies, and that those tools are able to all the professors and to the faculty. We are working to create a toolkit for the faculty of teachers in order to align efforts and to have an ABC on the basic ways or on the basics that everyone needs when it comes to tourism teaching. And last but not least, of course, added value jobs. We have the UNWTO Jobs Factory. That is the platform where you can find a job thanks to the power of artificial intelligence. And once you study in our academy, in the online academy, you are able to have job opportunities, because nothing can be done if we just focus on the academic background, but then we don't cross it to, of course, the practical background. And finally, investments. In investments, of course, if you tell me what do I think about investments, I feel that the future of investments are two. The first part is venture capital. Remember that during the pandemic, tourism was one of the most affected sectors. Nonetheless, when it comes to venture capital investments, investment in technology, that was the only indicator from the touristic sector that remained stable. $22 billion were invested the last year in tourism startups. And thanks to this power, we have seen that more emerging entrepreneurs has been growing. That's incredible and that's amazing. And when you see the power of Africa, I just saw that in Africa, more than $200 million were invested in tourism startups last year. In Latin America, I saw that the power is that good that $400 million were invested in Latin America. And I'm just talking about the emerging markets. The mature markets as the US, China, and of course Europe are even huge, because they today are in the phase where they are scaling up their solutions, and they have been able to adapt their solutions into new markets. So that's incredible, and I feel that focusing on attracting more venture investments and on creating new opportunities to those investors that haven't invested in tourism is part of our future. Only 5% of the unicorns in the world are startups from tourism. We need to create more and more and more. And the only way to create them, one way is, of course, by helping entrepreneurs to grow and to create a methodology for them to be constant in their business models. But on the other side is to bring opportunities, to bring facilities, and from the public sector to create incentives to bring foreign venture capital into the countries. And the second part of the story when I talk about investments is, of course, green investments. Tourism is the most human economic sector. And tourism, of course, is tourism thanks to the human and the natural resources. Without the people and without the natural resources, we cannot talk about tourism. So, as you know, climate change is here. Our sustainable development goals is our agenda and is our common agenda. So, if we work for maintaining the investments with regulations and incentives from the government that gives some stable panoramas to our investors, plus we create new public policies on sustainability, we will be able to lead by example this change that the world is needing today. Inside the UNWTO, we offer four, again, programs. The first one is the UNWTO Data and Investment Guidelines. We have the general one that is created in collaboration with the Financial Times, and the other ones are created here in-house with the governments. We have created, this year we initiated this program, and we created the Dominican Republic doing business in tourism guideline, Colombia, Argelia, and then we are working on Tanzania, Mozambique, and with different countries in Latin America and in Europe, because we know that helping the governments and our member states to create their own investment guideline will help them to promote this voice with specific projects and, of course, with a very technical due diligence on the matter. Second of all, our investment forums as well to connect the public and the private sector for good. Third of all, green investments, as I already said. We have a program with the IFC to promote green hotel investments. As you know, after transport, the second subsector of tourism that has more emissions when it comes to tourism is the hotel sector or the hotel industry. So we're working with them in order to help the hotels to create a new certificate, the EDGE certificate, that is the sustainable certificate of the World Bank and of the IFC, and then after you get the certificate, you will be able to access to funds to rebuild your business plan into a more greener and sustainable business plan. And last but not least, of course, our investment network, where we are working with more than 300 investors to help them to seek for new opportunities. I remember that during COVID, we did a survey and 50% of our investors told us that they will keep investing in tourism. Nonetheless, they told us that they will focus on ESG projects, everything focused on environmental solutions, social impact, and of course, governance. So don't miss this opportunity. I just want to finish by telling you that, of course, the UNWTO is here to help. That today I have been brief on the 3 pillars that I lead inside the UNWTO that are helping to change the vision of the most human economic sector. But remember that without them, without innovation, without education, without investment, we cannot talk about a sustainable tourism. And without empowering youth, we cannot talk about the tourism sector that is the most important sector for them. I wish you all the best, and I just want to encourage you to join us and to join all the programs that the UNWTO is running today for better, for the good of our society, and of course, for achieving our common agenda that is the Sustainable Development Goals. Thank you.